What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the James Madison offset spread playbook in College Football 25. This particular playbook has some interesting things. For one, it is an offset-based offense in terms of a lot of the formations. Have your halfbacks offset of the quarterback. It's got some interesting personnel groupings, some empty formations that are unique, more four wide receiver looks than you would imagine as well. It's got some decent RPOs and a bunch of other good stuff. So we're going to go through the formations, concepts, play types, and personnel. And hopefully by the end of the video, you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So again, this is a spread offense. So for the most part, it's going to be mostly shotgun. We're going to cover that last. We do have a full house formation, and it is full house type. We got 9 plays. This is pure situational. You run. If you want to do a little play action, you can. But I would use this more for third and short, fourth and short, or if you just really want to switch things up and just throw something different at the defense, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, you're going to be spending all your time in the shotgun. So starting off, split slot offset. This is a 20 personnel look with the 2 backs and 0 tight ends. We've been seeing this formation a lot in my recent videos. Very popular formation. You got 9 plays there. Then we got wing tight. We got a 13 personnel formation. You don't see these too often. 1 back, 3 tight ends. But guess what? We have another one. Wing tight Z. You're just moving the wide receiver over to the right side. So you got 18 plays right there of nothing but tight end love. We also have wing slot offset. This is a 12 personnel formation, 1 back, 2 tight ends. And then we got you off trips, the same thing, except you're moving your other tight end over to the left. 12 plays there. And then we head into the 11 personnel stuff. Starting off, doubles offset, 21 plays. Then we got doubles Y off. Then doubles Y off week. Then Y off trips. Y off trips week. Then we got trips tight end offset, 18 plays there. It's still 11 personnel. Look at the tight end. He's number 17. Then we got double stack. 17 is still out there. Notice what the halfback doing. He is still offset. Then we got spread flex, still 11 personnel with the tight end out there. Then we got bunch open offset, the exact same thing. The tight end is still out there, so it is still 11 personnel. And then we get into our first 4 wide look. It is trips halfback week. It is a 10 personnel with a 1 and a halfback, 0 tight ends. Then we get into empty Y flex. This is our first empty formation. This is technically 0-1 personnel. You got 4 wide receivers out there. And then we got empty quad, 6 plays there. So notice the big trend. The bulk of these are going to have the halfback offset of the quarterback. These tend to be a little bit easier to use for inside zone, just inside handoffs in general. He just got a better vertical look about it in terms of being right beside the quarterback. You can still run plenty of inside zone from formations like this if you needed to, but just kind of notice the trend, just a ton of offset stuff, along with some pretty cool empty plays or formations. So let's go here. What I normally like to do is try to find the little pre-snap motion mini series. These are nice little drive starters if you want to go that route. Split slot offset. It is known for all these halfback swings. We've looked at these plenty of times over. All 9 of these plays have that pre-snap motion built into it. Then we get into wing tight. We got one right here. It's a jet touch pass. I actually want to highlight this one. We'll go up here. So anytime I run a jet sweep, I prefer to have a tight end to the side I'm running to. In this case, we got 3 of them. So that's pretty nice. Let's see if I can get a good block right there. My receiver, I couldn't get a block on that one. Either way, pretty good, or that was the halfback trying to get a block. I'm going to try this one more time. Either way, really cool to have multiple guys on one side that you can get blocks. This is what you're looking for right there. An excellent jet sweep, having all those blockers to that same side. So keep that in mind with that particular play. Keep on going. I think that is it for that one. What about wing tight Z? Do we have any pre-snap there? We do not. What about the wing slot offset? Do we have any here? We do have a tight end motion. It's a PA slide, just a basic slide. That play is mainly just to go to the tight end, but you got backside double post, which we're going to see a little bit more here in a little bit. You off trips. This is another 12 personnel look. Do we got anything here? Nope. What about doubles offset? So here's our first true jet sweep mini series. We got the jet sweep. We got a fake zone. Then we got the fake jet Then we got the fake jet halfback seam. You keep on going. We got anything else we do? We got some Z motion, Texas double post. Again, notice a double post is going to be a lot in here. Then we got a spot double slant. That's a Y corner concept, more or less, with the backside slant on the other side. You keep on going. Doubles Y off. Do we have any in here? We do not. What about doubles Y off weak? Do we have any pre-snap motion here? We don't. So you're going to notice there's not a ton of pre-snap motion in this playbook, but I just still want to highlight them. Hey, look there. There's another double post. Again, we're going to cover that a little bit later. Here's a little tight end mini series, inside zone split, PA motion slide. Then you got the Y lead read option, but everything is built off of this play right here. The zone split, it's still inside zone. You're just pulling your tight end over this little pre-snap motion to go with it. But otherwise, you're just cutting up the gut here and get whatever yards you can. Then you run the play action on top of that, or you want a little read option thrown in there, you definitely can do that. Let's keep going. Do we have anything else here? These are the ones we looked at. What about Y off trips weak? Do we have any here? We do. Halfback swing, more of it. The Z spot, we got the halfback swing, and we got the pump and go on top of that. Trips, tight end offset. Do we have any here? We do not. Most of the time, these true trips looks, you're not going to find those. A pre-snap motion. It just kind of depends on the playbook. We don't have any out of double stack, but we do got some out of spread flex. We got a jet touch pass, so this is a jet sweep series. We got to play action off of that. Keep on going. Do we have any more in here? What about bunch open offset? Pretty good chance you're not going to find it here. And these trips, halfback and halfback weak formations, you're not going to find any pre-snap motion in them. But once you get to some empties, you'll actually have a little bit. Guess what? More jet sweep. I'm going to call the play action one out of this one. Let's go like against a dime. So we got a flood concept with the jet sweep to go with it. Nobody is going with the jet sweep, so I can probably go to him. He's going to be wide open, but I ran out of room. Either way, really cool stuff right there. If you just want to focus on some jet sweep, there's enough in here, but just not a ton. So kind of keep that in mind. But to have some out of the empty formations is kind of rare. Then we go to empty quads. Do we have anything here? This is a 4-strong formation. No pre-snap motion there. So I went through those pretty quickly, but I just wanted to point out the pre-snap motion and some of the little mini series you can start off with. But let's go over to personnel and let's look and see what we got here. So this has got some decent variety in terms of your personnel. Starting off, 11 personnel is going to be the bulk of it, as with most spread playbooks. But we got a couple of 13 personnel formations, wing tight and wing tight Z. We've already looked at a couple of those plays, like that jet sweep from earlier. Really good stuff. These are very rare in a lot of these playbooks, so I would treat these as gold in this particular playbook. 23, that's just your goal line. 20, you do got one, that's your split slot offset. 32, you do have a full house, that is the type formation. 21 is just your clock, and then your 12, you got wing slot offset, and then you off trips, so you got a little bit there if you need it. Then we got a first 4 wide look, trips halfback weak, but then you can throw these in here as 4 wide looks as well, empty Y flex and empty quad. So I'm a big proponent of having a lot of personnel variety, because you just never know what your best skill players are going to be from season to season, unless you're really forced it in recruiting. And that, I think, is just more fun to occasionally go outside of 11 personnel. So thankfully this playbook has plenty of different things to go with it, especially that 13 personnel stuff. I think that's pretty cool. All right, let's look at some concepts. As you see here about a play count, this is a decent sized playbook. It's not humongous, but let's start off with the run game. I'm gonna go over here, start at the beginning with power. We actually got quite a bit of power here. We got 8 of them. To go along with power, you do got some counter to go with it. 7 of these, so these two go well together. But we also got plenty of inside zone. As you can see here, this is where your run game is going to start. You got a couple of ISOs. One of them's technically a halfback direct. And you got plenty of draw. This is technically a zone running scheme. But you can also add in some outside zone if you need it. So I think there's a decent variety here. Again, you've got a couple of sweeps, you even got a couple of traps. I think there is enough power and counter to add in all the zone running schemes. So you can do this as a half and half. Make it a half zone running, then you could do the half gap scheme as well. Plenty of good stuff in here. They're just not one dominant thing like a lot of these spread concepts are, or playbooks where it's just mostly inside zone. Really good stuff. Again, I would go between the two, but if you want to stick with the inside zone and outside zone, the zone running stuff, you can do that, or you can do power and counter if you want to. Also, because you got a couple traps built in. There's not a lot of traps in this game. All right, let's look at the option. When you come over here, we got plenty of RPOs. I'm going to start off with RPO peak. We got 5 of them here. Notice it's just a variety. You got some hitches and slot glances and outside slants, bubbles, alerts. It's kind of weird how this game can group some of these RPOs. But let's go look at these other ones. RPO read, 7 of these. More of the same thing, Y flat, some alerts. There's an alert read bubble. Then we got to the actual RPO alerts, and there's 15 of them here. Most of these are going to be bubbles, not all of them. We even got a shock. We got a glance bubble, another shock, alert screen, more alerts, more bubbles. Then you got a true alert out. Those are one of my favorites. And then you got alert bubble. Anyway, some really good stuff in here. Plenty of RPOs. It's not super heavy. There's like a little under 30 RPOs, but I just really wanted to point out there's enough in here to where you need to make it a priority. Let's look at the actual option plays. We got a couple of loads, which is also speed, as you can see here. We got some read option. We got 10 of them. This will not be a priority in the offense, but there are in here if you need them. Those are the 2 speeds we looked at. We even have a triple. This is out of the 2-back look. Then we got the zone option, which is technically speed, but what's really cool about this one, it's out of that 13 personnel formation, or at least one of them. Get some extra blocking up front, and then you're off and running. Again, the 13 personnel formations I think are really cool. Then to have the speed built in there, it's just a very simple outside run play for you. So we've already looked at the RPO. So there's a nice little mix here. And when we go over to the play types, you'll see kind of what you really need to prioritize. But let's go look at some quicks. So quick passing game, we got 7 Ohio's. Ohio is not the most popular quick passing concept in the game. This one prioritizes it. So I'm going to go like up against nickel. So this is like a mirrored concept. I'm going to go, let's see. Oh, he's wide open. I threw that one a little too late, but we're still going to get some decent yards out of it. But go against cover 0 or like a soft cover 2. You can hit the outside, or you can go to the out routes underneath for the rest of it. But there are 7 of these. So that, to me, that's a really high number compared to what I'm used to seeing. We got 3 Omahas, and then we got 9 slants. Normally when you have that much slant, you're going to have that much stick, but let's go check that out. We got a couple of spacings, and we only have 5 sticks. So your biggest priority here is going to be slant, but I would really throw in some of this Ohio as well. Again, that's a really high number compared to most playbooks. Let's look at some of the medium pass ones. Then we got 4 mesh, we got 4 slot cross, we got 8 choice, so pretty much any option route is going to get dumped here. Notice it's a little bit of everything. However, 8 is still kind of a high number for a basic spread attack compared to other ones. So you may want to prioritize this one. We got 12 curls, any type of curl flat, a curl, a hitch of some sort. You can definitely go here and go through some of this. I will really prioritize it. So we got 5 double moves. We also have 3 drives. We got 3 levels. We got a pivot. We got 4 Salems. We got a couple shakes. We got 5 shallow cross. So you got a good little mix of shallow cross, levels, and drive. Not a ton, but there's some in there. You're going to prioritize smash. We got 14 of them, which is actually a low number compared to some other ones. Smash is usually the most common medium pass concept in the game, but there is enough variety here if you need it. We got 6 spots. This is a really high number for this particular concept. I'm going to go ahead and call this one, it's a sprint, if I'm not mistaken. This is just a triangle read on one side. He is wide open. Very simple stuff right there. I would definitely make this a priority as well. Again, 6 is just a really high number for that particular concept. And then we got a Texas concept. All right, let's go look at the deeps. We got a little bit less here, but about the same. We got 4 floods. That's actually a really low number. This is usually a very common deep pass concept, but we got 10 comebacks. I'm a big comeback fan. Excellent against man, and you got some good zone beaters everywhere else. We got a few daggers. We got a couple divides, and this may be your most important one here of the deep pass. Double post. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I think the posts are a little too close together, and I think it just muddles things up when it comes to the safeties and getting good stops and whatnot. But there's 10 of these. Some people may really like them. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one over here. So it looks like who knows what's going to happen on this one. Let's see. Can I get the dig? Nope, that was a terrible mistake. Either way, a double post, I guess you read a high to low. Somebody may want to put in the comment section how to read that better, because again, I'm not really good at those, but there's 10 of them. That's a really high number for that concept. You got 13 verticals, plenty of verticals. This is pretty normal for that concept. We got 4 Portlands. We got 15 shot plays. That's pretty normal. Again, a lot of this is play action based. You're just going play action over the top, trying to attack safeties and whatnot. Then we got 5 switch, just a little run and shoot if you need it. So out of all this, I would definitely prioritize double post and definitely come back with some verticals and shot. Well, it says we got 6 play actions. We actually got a whole lot more than that. It says we got a couple boots and 4 slides. And when it comes to screens, it says we got 21 of them, but most of these are these RPOs we looked at, 5 flankers and a couple of mid screens. But if you go over to play type, you go to pass and you go to screen, we got 15 true screens. Add all of these basic screens with these 27 RPOs, you got over 40 screenplays, more than enough for what you're trying to do with a screen game. So definitely prioritize that. That's a good high number. But I'm going to go back to the pass and let's go look at play action. You technically got 34 play action plays. So all that inside zone we was talking about, especially from all these offset formations, do play action on top of that. Throw in a little power and counter. You notice that some of these play actions, if you really want to get into the weeds of this, kind of notice all the line blocking for some of these. Most of these are going to be zone blocking. So that should kind of tell you that the bulk of the run game should be inside zone or zone in general, because all of your play action blocking is a zone related too. Just something to keep in mind. Let's go look at the runs a little bit differently. We got mostly inside handoffs, 28 of them. Some of those are those jet sweeps we looked at, the fake ones, and then we got power and inside zone are all built in here. Then we got 5 outside handoffs. We got a couple pitches. We got those counters we looked at, and we got 8 draws. There's going to be plenty of drop backs. I would include these in your offense. We got a fullback run, and we got technically 1 QB run. I don't really count the QB sneak from goal line. I mean, it's a play, but the QB blast from empty quads, you may want to include this. This isn't a quarterback-heavy run attack, but this is a nice little play. It's very simple to get some easy yards with a quarterback if he could run a little bit. Again, it just kind of depends on your roster. We only have 14 options. This is not a priority of the playbook. There's some in here. It's going to be basic read and speed, but if you need a little bit, there it is. But again, you do not pick this playbook because of all this option. And the RPOs, there's only 27 of them, but there's enough here. I mean, do you need 50 plus like the Texas playbook has? No, but 27 seems to be enough. And if there are certain ones you just really adhere to, like all these bubbles, and you may really like the shock, again, use them. I mean, they're part of the offense. And that is it for this playbook. It's pretty simple. It's nothing too outlandish in terms of uniqueness with a spread offense. However, I like that a lot of it's going to be offset based. If you're an offset guy, definitely use this. If you need some 13 personnel, that's the big thing. I think this is like the main fun stuff of it is this stuff right here. Again, this is very rare formations to have in a playbook. And then you got all those empty quad stuff, or the empty formations. You come back over here, you got some of the empty quads, and you got empty Y flex. So that is what, 21 plays from the empty formations alone. Throw in a couple of those 4 wide looks, and you just got a nice variety of things. If you like this combination of things, make sure you check out this playbook. I will have a cheat sheet over on the Patreon page. Make sure you check that out as well. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.